What's up, Dirt Life fam? We're gonna let a few people come into the video right now, but as you can see, we're over here at Shock Therapy. We're being safe, hanging out with everybody. Actually have a whole bunch of cool stuff happening right now, but man, they keep keeping busy. Oh, hey, Justin,
George,
what's up, man?
Going?
How are you?
Boom. Everybody out there, how are you guys doing?
Safe? We're doing good, man.
Awesome. Well, what I heard from George is that we're doing a shop tour today, and kind of going to show everybody a little bit about the behind the scenes that no one gets to see here at the shop. So if you guys are ready, you can walk in.
Let's do it, man. I'm excited to check it out myself.
So in the showroom, which normally has a few people in it, but obviously it's closed down for what's going on. We've got some of our parts on display so everyone can take a look at what we've got. Surrounded behind you, some of the guys that are on the phones. When you guys call the shop, you get to talk to Mike, you talk to JT, who's actually not at his desk right now, and you got Milo over in the corner too.
Woo! What's up, Milo?
And down the hallway, if you want to poke your head down there, there's quite a few offices, but I think Ernie's probably hiding on the right. He might be in there.
Oh, you mean this guy that's doing a wheelie in his Can-Am right here?
Yeah, that picture's him.
What's up, Ernie? How are you doing,
man.
dude? It's good to see you. We'll do this, the safe fist bump. Boom. Got it. How's things going, man?
Everything's going really good.
We're just doing a little live Dirt Life show kind of thing on Instagram. So
Awesome.
Hey, Ernie,
Appreciate
what's
you
all the
coming out.
dollar bills behind you?
Oh yeah. So those
Dollar
are all-
bill.
Those are all bets won. So it could be anything from just a simple bet that we do in house, or it could be beer pong or cornhole or a win loss, or
So you're pretty good at beer pong?
it could be a lunch bet. I have dollars around everywhere else too. I
Sweet,
think
man.
Justin's got 100 in his office for me.
All right, dude.
So,
Good to see you, man.
Good to see you, man. Have a good one.
Later. Oh, look at that. Woo. Is this where all the shock building and stuff happens?
It does. We'll kind of walk around some of these different spots real quick, but
We'll just
in this
listen to you.
area
We'll
right
have
here
the
is-
video here, and we'll still listen to all your audio.
All right, so straight ahead of you is our shipping area. We have 4 guys that are full-time. They knock it dead daily. They are running around full steam. You can see some of the boxes on the right that are stacked and ready to ship. Usually we ship between 50 and 80 boxes a day.
Man.
Just depends on what the products are. It could be complete sets of shocks. Could be spring kits, could be tie rod kits, whatever we make. There's a lot of different things that we go through. These guys are pulling orders as we come through with the site.
So is all this stuff on the shelves of the queue here?
So it is a bit. Everything that we do is appointment based. So when it comes to shocks that come in, those shocks are booked for a specific day. That way we do them that day and we mail them that day. We always
Wow.
have 24-hour turnaround on appointment based shock sets. So what you'll see on this shelf are the shocks that are ready and staged for tomorrow.
Got
and
it.
the shocks that were finished already and going to be boxed.
Cool.
So if you walk around this side, you'll see a little bit
That
of
sounds like a pretty efficient process, if you ask me.
It's important to us because we want to make sure that the shocks are off of that customer's car for the minimal amount of time.
Got it.
You know, and we do shocks
Well, especially with
all-
such a long line of waiting customers too.
Yeah, we're usually about 2 or 3 weeks out on our scheduled appointments, but we do the work the same day. But we do shocks for people all over the world. So
Yeah.
sometimes you've got 4 days of shipping, sometimes you've got a week of shipping, depending on where. We want to minimize it as much as possible. So the shocks come in, they get done, they go right back out.
Sweet. All this stuff back here, you don't have to ask a question, but a lot of that stuff is all springs and different other inventory that Justin's got here. We're trying not to get people's license plates, but these are some of the customers' cars.
So the cars that you see in here today have been scheduled to be dropped off. We do all the work, shocks, sway bars, could be rack and pinions, whatever we make we'll install. But we try not to do more than 4 or 5 cars per day because it takes a lot of people to do the work on the car.
Right.
But we do between 10 and 15 sets of shocks per day. The rest of them will be in the mail.
What's the big present up here?
So that was left over from the Christmas party. It's kind of like leaving your Christmas lights up all night and all year. That's kind of what's going on right now. But this shelf on the right, if you see any of these shocks with a white tag, that is a shock that's ready for tomorrow. Anything with a yellow tag has been done and they're going to ship.
Got it.
As you see, there's not very many yellow ones because they're mostly boxed already going out today. So this whole shelf, this line of shocks, is basically a 24-hour turnaround for us.
That's
And
insane.
Everything on that end moves down to this end, and then the more shocks that come in the mail today will go on the far end, and the cycle repeats.
Man, that is super cool. I think you have a couple jacks too. Let's take a second and look at all this branding, man. A lot of people may have seen this sticker, but this branding online. This is actually a really, really cool piece that Justin has done, and it's got a lot of shock value. I love all the graphic stuff, but personally, when I came here for the first time, I couldn't believe how much work gets done underneath.
Yes, that if there is a place where the magic happens around here, it's definitely going to be in this area. And each one of our shock techs has their own spot.
That's
I'll
sweet.
show you each one of these bays, but everything they need to do their work is self-contained into each spot. This is Steve. He's fairly famous. He's kind of all over the place in all of our
Boom.
videos and everything. But maybe if you got a second, Steve, you can kind of tell everybody what you're up to in your shock area and a little bit about how we do it.
So I don't have any shocks in my area right now, but I did just get finished with the set. But what's pretty cool about our system is we can go into here, and whatever is going on for this day, we go in there, go into the appointment, go ahead and click on it. It brings us in. It lets us know what's going on in the system. I can tell what work I'm doing, add jobs, and then sign off. That way we know who did the job and what was going on.
Dude, that's insane cool.
It's pretty awesome. And what's cool is too is so you come in. It used to be like, hey, you know, I did this work on your car, and we'd have to go search for paperwork. Now all I gotta do is type your name in, and it's right here in the palm of my hands.
That is really,
So
really
it's a pretty
cool.
awesome system, and it also keeps it to where when I'm checking a customer in, we're keeping that social distance. I'm able to show them on the iPad. We're kind of able to take care of everything right here and get them kind of squared away, paid, everything. Go outside, make sure we wipe their units down when they pick up. That way everything stays sanitary and we're doing our part.
So not only did it help, obviously, when you guys started having the program without the stuff that's going on right now, but it's really helping right now because you can actually keep your distance too, and the customers have a much safer interaction.
Yeah, it's super safe, it's super clean, and we're just trying to do our part in making sure that we help out the community.
Dude, that actually gets me super excited. I appreciate you guys doing that for everybody's sake. That's awesome.
Thank you, Steve. Appreciate it, man.
Thanks, bud. Later.
So working our way down these stations, you can see now we're getting into Mitch's area, and for the most part, Mitch is kind of our lead tech, and he is integral portion of us tuning brand new vehicles.
Yep.
So for instance, on that KSX or Kawasaki,
Yeah.
we'll go out and we'll stay like 2 or 3 days in certain spots and just change the car over and over and over again and make the thing perfect before we're happy with that. And that's one session. We'll do sometimes 5 or 10 sessions.
Man,
just
that many?
Yes, we'll easily take shocks on and off of a brand new vehicle. Sometimes 15, sometimes 30 or 40 times in just testing and improving what we want to do for spring and internal valving packages. Sometimes that gets even more involved. We'll modify shafts, shock, oil, viscosity, go ahead, turn it on, and pistons and other things too.
I can attest for that. I know that that stuff gets pretty tedious, but it's very, very integral as a part of that because you obviously do shock testing daily, I think it is? Or
We do it daily, yeah.
Yeah, so, but one of the times that we were trying to develop some shocks for, I think, the UTV World Championship for my personal Yamaha YXZ, you spent an enormous amount of time just with me. It was one of the things that I still remember being so appreciative of you devoting all that time to do it. So I can understand the amount of time that it actually takes. It's phenomenal.
It's a huge amount of time, and one thing that's super important with how we do testing, in addition to what you had mentioned, is we don't test on customers. Never do we make changes and let that customer figure it out or decide if it's good or bad. We do all of our testing on our own units, and we do not let that go out to a customer until we're happy with it.
That
Now,
makes so much
we might make
sense.
changes, we might come back to it a couple months later and improve it, and then that becomes what we sell customers, but we never use our customers as guinea pigs. Now we passed one thing that's pretty important.
Okay.
This is one of our parts washers right here. It is big enough for a complete shock, and that is a 180-degree wash.
No shit.
Every shock we get in the mail and come off a car goes through this process. It's not only cleaning it, but it's also sterilization when we get to this point.
Man, you guys are really doing a good job to keeping all this stuff clean, especially in this time right now we got going.
So this is something that a lot of people don't see, but inside the shock is valving. Valving are basically spring, very, very high grade spring steel that moves. It has everything to do with how the shock works. Now, valve shims are between $1 to $3 per shim.
Wow.
Now, if you take a look, I'm just going to pull one. This is a larger diameter one. That shim is probably $2.50.
Holy smokes.
These small ones maybe up here. This one's probably about $1. What you're looking at in this shelf, top to bottom, is approximately $500,000 in valve shims.
Woo-wee, that's pretty crazy.
It's a lot of money, but if you're going to change people's ride quality on a daily basis, and you're going to change it on every single person's vehicle to accommodate their style, then you have to have everything you could possibly ever need. Otherwise, forget it. You're not going to be able to do that. You're going to. I say this because a lot of people say we have a cookie cutter system. We just do it the same for everybody. That is not true
Yeah.
at all. We modify spring rates on every single car
All the time, yep.
We have a base starting point for valving that we've gotten to after our own testing, but then it's modified for that customer's need after the fact. That's one of the reasons why our testing takes so long. We might get it where we like it, but then we might take the car and all the weight off of it and tune it for that.
Yep.
So we can do someone's stock car, and we'll put a ton of weight on it and we'll tune it for that for someone that's accessorized, and we know exactly what everything needs to be. So on the right, this is a portion of the seals that we have. We do not buy seal kits from Fox or Walker or anybody else. We actually have our own seals made, and every one of our seals is a Viton seal. Now, what's a Viton seal? If you buy a normal seal kit from Fox, it might be $15 to rebuild your shock. If you buy a Viton kit, the heat and temperature ratings are higher. It's a racing seal kit, basically. That $15 seal kit's $100.
Whoa.
We run Viton on everything we do. You don't get a choice of a lesser seal. That's just our standard package.
I like that. Dude, this is like the most organized area I've ever seen.
Thank you. That's what we're going for.
Let me show them all the steering racks right there. That's pretty bitchin'. It's looking good though.
So what have you got on your right?
This is all limit straps.
Oh, limit straps?
Like all the kits, all the clamps for them, and all the straps down here.
Yeah, so these are the clamps that go on the top of the shocks, right around the shock body for
Yeah.
the limit straps, and then those are the actual limit straps as well.
Yeah.
And these shelves still got to be filled too.
Yeah, I have a ton of radius rods upstairs, tie rods, BSDs that all still need to come downstairs, but in time.
What's on this shelf over here?
Frame supports.
Oh, these are actually pretty cool. So these are the ones that go on the
Polaris stuff.
yeah.
It ties the sway bar mount into the motor mount on a Polaris.
God, you have it so organized. I love it.
Got all of our sway bar links here.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we've got like these ship out with the label. The ones that don't are for in-house install. Just tons. And then we've got all of our spacers and hardware, and the rest of these, all of our spacers for limit straps.
So what I'm noticing here is that you guys don't mess around by making sure that you have inventory.
Oh yeah, well, that's the goal.
Yeah, that's super cool, man. Lots
Inventory
of
is
stuff.
really, really important for us because one thing we do on our site is if you place an order by 2 p.m., it ships that day.
Oh, perfect.
Also, nothing on the site is out of stock. If it is on the site and you can purchase it, we have it. If it is not in stock, we remove it from the site.
If it's not in stock, you can call Justin and Lauren and tell them that you're mad because it can almost guarantee they have it in stock.
We'll have to be working harder on the kits, and that's actually what is getting done next to you, and Lauren can tell you about that.
Yeah, I don't know if people realize how much goes into every single part, and it's all handmade by 2 people for the most part.
That's so awesome.
Say hi, Kayla.
Hi, Kayla.
Chris.
What's going down? Oh, you getting all the packages ready?
Yeah.
What are you making, Kayla?
RS links.
Gotcha.
Let's see. Let's get a close up of those bad
Rear
boys.
ones. Yeah, rear RS.
Sweet.
Yeah. Very time consuming, meticulous, tedious. Takes a lot, and we go through those like crazy. So it's 24/7 with assembling.
Well, like I said before, one of the things that I'm noticing is the amount of actual work and preparation that goes into everything. Like you have inventory for everything or most everything, and then the hands-on touch a lot of companies don't have, and I think that's fantastic. Not only does it obviously keep people working, but it really, really makes a big difference in having the product come out and be packaged exactly how the customer needs it.
Hi, Doug.
What's happening, Doug?
George is here.
So it might be a little hard to hear everybody since it's so loud in here because all of the machines.
Got enough filtration going on to filter the air in here every 2 minutes.
Let George know what you're up to.
We've got the 3-inch clamps branding right now. We'll run both sides, get them marked up.
Let us know if you guys can or can't hear. We can talk louder too. But you can see some of those upper shock clamps are all getting etched.
Box crossovers that we're putting our name on.
Man, that is bitchin'.
And over here we're running the top halves of the 3-inch limit strap clamps.
How cool is that? That is gotta be some serious fine adjustment. I mean, like, look at how the detail on that. I can't even get how detailed that is on the phone. With your naked eye, this is insane detail. That is awesome.
Thank you, Doug.
You're welcome.
Let's take a walk over to the other side of the shop. So these two cars are here because we're test fitting new components. The Turbo S on the left is actually ours. And right now we're doing a test fit for the new billet rack for a Turbo S.
So here, I gotta cover it up so they can't see it.
I'll actually, I'll fix that for you really quick.
Sweet.
So currently we do not have a rack for a Turbo S. Here is a rack for a Turbo S. And we're just finishing all the instructions and the installation portion into our Turbo S car. Here shortly, since we have quite a big batch of these already ready to go. As soon as the instructions are done, then we'll see these on the site and some marketing to let everybody know that we have it.
Sweet.
This sort of thing happens all the time, every single day on some sort of model.
Yeah, and I love that you already have it, I don't know, scheduled. That's amazing to see that it's already going to be available for the public right when it gets done.
As you had told everybody earlier, all of the pallets that you see on the wall or on the shelves, every pallet here are coil springs. They're different sizes, they're different rates, but each pallet is anywhere between 200 and 400 springs.
So just think about it. All of this stuff on the shelves, all that stuff, make your side-by-side ride nice and cushy like a lazy boy.
Now that might look like a lot of springs, but you'll see here when we go to the other building that it's actually not.
Oh, it looks like something cool's going on over here, huh?
So in this area, we've turned this into our studio, and if you guys have seen any of our installation videos, you'll recognize the background. But we also use it as inventory. So on that shelf to our left, those are brand new RC2 Fox shocks. Those are internal bypass shocks. The smaller boxes below are IQS kits, which are electronic adjustable conversions for any of the Foxes 2.5 and larger on any UTV, so you can adjust them from the dash. The other side of the shop basically is our junk drawer. Everybody's got a junk drawer in the kitchen. We got one inside the shop. This is kind of where everything gets thrown at the moment. Here soon, we'll be building new offices in that back corner because we're out of office space. But for now, everything's in transition, going from this building to the next building and then making some more room.
Some of our audience members might get a kick out of some of these paddle tires right here, so.
Yep, so you're looking at tires off of...
And we got the man, the myth, the legend.
Say hi, Chase.
Bradshaw.
Hello.
Virtual fist pump, though. Boom.
Corona pump.
Yep.
Yeah. So all the wheels and tires that go on the shop cars, whether we're going to the dunes or whether we're going to Baja, kind of stacked up over here. And different engines and trannies are chemicals for shipping, dealer boxes, stuff like that. So in the studio is an XP Pro. We're just about to release every product for this car. The obvious internal shock work, spring kits, limit strap kits. We'll be building new sway bar system soon for it. We have rear radius rod kits for this. As a matter of fact, on the workbench is a set. I'm not sure if anybody knows what that blue thing is right there, but it's called
Scanner.
a Faro arm.
Yep.
And a Faro arm scans anything you want with a 3D dimensional infrared, or basically a laser system. And that is translated directly to the computer so that if we're building a component, for instance, a rack and pinion on that car, we can scan the factory rack and we have all the dimensions immediately needed to go into the CNC process.
Yeah, that's so cool. I love those things, man. I've seen a couple of them in use, and they're really, really cool, especially when you see the actual stuff come into the computer. Oh, we got the gold car. This is Ernie's whip?
Yeah, Ernie's car and parking for the semi.
Woo!
We're basically prepping the semi right now for another few trips we've got planned as soon as they lift all the restrictions, and we're going to get out to all the big events.
Sweet, man. Even got the custom stitching on the seats. You guys will like
baby
that.
seats, because he's got kids in the back too.
Little baby seat. Yeah, that's awesome. All right, guys. So we're going to head over to the race shop and the machine shop. We'll show you guys over there. So just I'll show you around his car, Ernie's car, while we're traveling over there. Got some fun stuff in here. Radio system, stereo system.
IQS over here for shock adjustment. Boom.
So that's all it takes, is just one button.
Yep, click and switch.
How cool is that, guys? So you could have, what, like a soft setup and a hard setup or something?
Exactly.
Man, that would be super cool. Actually, that would be super cool for the YXZs too. So now we're gonna go into, I think, the race shop, right?
Yep, so we're calling this race shop.
Thank you, sir.
This is kind of a home base for the race team, or store, Shock Therapy Off-Road Racing. Also, you'll see that we're using this building for warehousing of inventory product that we don't have room for in the other building. And also, it's the future home for all of our CNC machines as well.
Awesome.
So we
Yeah, if you guys don't follow Store Off-Road Racing, definitely go check them out on Instagram. How'd you beat us over here, dude?
You know, a little bit of brown magic.
Now, I don't know if you guys know this, but they don't give these flags away. You have to win a race.
I definitely know that one, man. I was so pumped.
So we're proud of winning that race since it's the roughest race on any calendar. When you're a shock guy, it's kind of important.
Yeah, that's bitching though.
I just moved my office over here last week, so it hasn't had a chance to get dirty yet.
No Corona yet?
Not yet. No, it's a safe zone. And here is the race shop portion.
Wow, this is cool. I'm gonna take a step back and give them a little bit of a wider shot. These cars are just bitching.
Having everything you might need in one spot is super important.
You know how many race teams I get, and I understand like that will be like, oh, I went to Ace Hardware and got a bolt.
100 times a day, 10 times before a race.
Yep.
It gets old, so it sure helps to have the best hardware and everything you might need at any time.
So that OCD is kicking in. I'm having such a great time seeing all this stuff. This is bitching.
Definitely OCD.
Yeah, I love it.
All right.
It's a nice organization. Oh, clutch drawer.
That is a clutch drawer. So we've got all the tuning items for everything inside the clutch.
Obviously the tools.
Yep, every tool. Obviously we don't have the clutch itself in here, but those are over on the cabinet shelves as well.
Yeah, those are a little bit bigger.
We prepped the pre-runner for all of our Mexico stuff.
So this one's the pre-runner.
Yep.
And this one's
that's
the race car.
on the right. The difference, if nobody knows, is the pre-runner is more stock than the race car. We leave it that way on purpose because we constantly use the car for testing of stock components or components we're building for stock cars.
Yeah, so this one is a lot more closer to what you would buy off the showroom floor. Maybe a couple safety
and strength related things so we can beat on it. But we use it for pre-running the race course, especially when you go to Mexico and they allow for pre-running.
Yep.
Which means pre-run the race.
Yep.
Right? So we go down there for the 1,000 and we run the whole race 1,000 miles in advance in that car. We'll mark everything on the GPS, mark trouble spots, dangers, boulders, cliffs, holes in the course, things that you're not going to know when you're coming through there at 80 miles an hour. And you know what you're dealing with before you get there. We'll
Dang, how many
GPS.
miles does this bad boy have on it then?
This car has 13,000 miles. Now, that's the third motor and the fourth trans.
So our buddy Cody Sanders thought he had a lot of miles on his Yamaha YXZ. He's got you beat, bud.
Now, this is the same car that was in the speed video we did years ago. It's the same car that we raced in the stock car race at Parker this year. It's the same car we take to the dunes. It is we've never had another version of this car. Some people mistake it for the race car just because the wrap is similar, but it is a stock chassis with supports as opposed to a full handmade car like the race car is.
Yeah, that's cool. And when you're in the car for so long, Justin has some ventilation stuff up here on the
Those are
on the
intakes.
top. Yep.
When we were doing our clutch testing, and air cleaner and other intakes on top, and it keeps our systems clean. We could run 1,000 miles without having a dirty air cleaner with the intakes on top. So that's the second use of this building for us besides the race team. It's more inventory. So
inventory, mostly springs all here.
yeah, there's 248 pallets of springs in here. We have about 100,000, give or take 10,000 springs in stock at all times.
And the reason that Justin does that, he was telling me earlier that they have to have the springs because there's so many different setups that you can possibly have. You could have the same car, a Can-Am, a stock Can-Am, and you could have more spare tire on there. You could have different weight, and it requires a different setup.
Yeah, you put a spare tire on the back, we're going to change the spring rate. You put a winch and a bumper on the front, we're going to change the front spring rates. If you're a 180-pound guy or 300-pound guy plus friends, we're going to change spring rates for that.
Yeah, exactly.
And
So
you
if
have
anybody
to have
tells you no, you can just use one spring rate for everything, that's definitely a lie. So
yeah, it's not true. Now this is a stock chassis. We haven't done anything to it yet. For the most part, the only thing that's used on these stock chassis per our class is this rear bulkhead and the front pivot assembly. Everything else in the middle isn't used. It's all handmade out of chromoly, and so basically we build the whole frame ourselves.
yeah, that's cool though. This is like one of the most exciting times though, is the design phase. In my opinion, a lot of guys like the production phase and stuff, but I love this part because it's like all these ideas that we had and all the version 2 stuff is coming together.
R&D is my favorite. Taking an idea and bringing it to where it actually exists.
Yep.
And it's tested and it's perfect. The production of it after the fact loses my interest altogether. I'm on to something else, trying to make something else. So.
Yeah. Well, if you guys have any questions about Justin's race team and the program that he's got going here, he's got a bunch of stuff. It's super fun, but feel free to chime in, leave us a comment.
So on the other side of the shop is going to be our CNC area. I'll just show you.
There's some of the fuel tanks and stuff that they use on the race cars. This place looks pretty new. Wow.
We currently have 11 CNCs. They're in a third building in Peoria. We've always had them over there because of needing power, and we didn't have space. But finally we have the room, so all the CNCs are coming over with us. These are just 2 machines that we picked up used. The actual machines that are running day in and day out, like I said, are in another building, and they run nonstop.
Right.
All 9 machines roughly are running full tilt.
And so just so everybody understands that we came from the race shop and we're now at the machine shop, but this is not just machines for the race shop. This is machines for all the products that you guys do.
Yes, so these machines basically are making all of the components that you've seen in the other building and inventory.
Right.
That's radius rod kits, that's billet race racks, that's crossover rings for spring kits. It's any component we make in-house.
But this is going to be really cool. This is going to be one of the neatest things when this thing is all set up to be able to come in. We'll have to come back and check it out when we got it running.
Come back when we've got all the machines running. If you guys haven't seen CNC machines whittling out aluminum chips all day long, we have plenty of that going on when we get them back up.
It'll be really cool. That's, again, like the idea phase. I love seeing that stuff come to fruition. A big takeaway that I'm getting from this is that it's awesome that we all love racing, right? I love racing, you love racing. There's a lot of development and testing that goes there. But like I was just telling everybody, like all of this stuff in the other shop, that's all for you guys. That's all stuff that Justin has just in case you guys need it for your guys' setup. And that's why so many people are so happy with the stuff that you guys are doing, man, is because you guys knock it out and get the customers back on the road. Well, on the trail. Uh-oh.
There's trouble.
And they have some fun around here, too.
Just coming to get some sodas.
That thing's pretty cool. So if you guys have any other questions, what's the race car worth?
If you were to pay a shop to build you a brand new version, it would be between 120 and 150 grand.
Later, Justin. Later, George.
See you
Later,
guys.
boys.
If you want to buy a car that's been used for a couple of seasons and then you take over and you do your own prep, you can find them between 60 and 80,000.
Just remember, guys, when you start the racing stuff, the car is not the most important part. I know Tim that asked the question already knows this, but racing is a very, very, well, dedication-based sport. You have to have a lot of team members. You have to have a lot of drive. You have to have a lot of heart, because it's very, very difficult to make one of these vehicles cross the finish line, especially in a long race like the one that Justin won, like the San Felipe 250 or like a Baja 1000. But when you have a business like Justin's that you're going out and testing and doing all kinds of product development, it's almost crucial to be able to do it. And the fact that he does it at a competitive level, I mean, just finishing fourth at the Mint 400 is pretty phenomenal. And that means that your guys' cars are going to be set up pretty dang good when you guys get the stuff done. Well, Justin, dude, again, thank you so much for giving us a little bit of behind the scenes and always supporting the Dirt Life and the audience members, and of course me. I really appreciate it. We want to thank everybody for tuning in. You guys stuck around the whole time. We hope we're producing good content for you guys. So thank you very much. Again, for another virtual one, dude. Thanks,
Thank you,
Justin.
guys.